every month you're in sync with the moon cycle. That's why people really emphasize for women to focus on going with the flow of their energy, because when you're striving to push your body beyond what it really can, you push yourself into a survival mode. So as a woman, they say that women, when you give them one thing, they multiply it into five things. Why can they do that? Because women have a lot of creative energy, women have a lot of sexual potency. It comes straight from the womb, it comes from the straight connection that we have with the divine, the mother nature. All comes from your womb. That's why your womb is your nothingness and your everythingness. It can literally destruct everything, it can make everything. And that's why a healthy body, one that is taken care of, looked after, groomed, and everything that you want to do does not come from a space of constantly hustling. Now you'd wonder, how do we really keep our body healthy, and how do we maneuver that type of space if we don't come from that background, or I don't have the luxury of time or money, or I don't have the luxury of rest in my life. A lot of it really comes down to your core relationship with the divine. If you have a way of thinking that's always paranoid, you're constantly, this is a trauma response. It means that you have cut yourself off, you have cut yourself from the divine connection, because it's like your physical life was too unsafe or uncertain since your childhood that you had to cut your divinity off. You don't basically have time to rest and see what naturally comes up for you, because your physical environment is so unsafe. Imagine if I tell someone who's like, from the stone age, and there's just this singular woman who is surrounded by maybe natural calamities or wildlife, and I tell her that, why don't you just sit down and meditate and everything is possible? No, it's not, because physically your body is there and you have a responsibility to it. That's why we focus on the pyramid, which is the mind, body, and spirit. So when we focus on the bodily part, we're able to engage with spirit. You can't possibly connect with the divine when you're extremely tired, when you're depressed, when you feel cranky. You can't listen to what wants to come to you because you're so frantic about life, right? So this situation does not just pertain to maybe physically alarming situations or difficult situations, but it definitely talks about moving through the I'd say moving through the hustle bustle of life and trying to create that life for yourself. Of course, it starts from a point where we're learning how to build ourselves up to that level where our inner reality can reflect that on the outside. But if you're constantly thinking that, no, this is not possible, this is not going to happen for me, I can't possibly have it, this is just for people who have privilege. Yeah, maybe they do have privilege, but a lot of people are cultivating their life given, no matter what cards they were really dealt with, they kind of do have this mentality, come what may, I'm going to change my reality. And if you're looking to understand how, if you're looking at some other woman and you're like, okay, how does she look like that, how does she feel like that, is her energy, how does she really do that, it's a lot about how well you're taking care of your body. It doesn't just conclude to workouts, or it doesn't conclude to just your diet. It talks about how do you really feel emotionally. And that's why they talk about this catch that women, their biggest challenge is controlling their emotions. It's not about controlling their emotions, it's about how well do you manage yourself, how well do you take care of yourself, because naturally you're an empath, you are blessed with spiritual abilities. It's a lot about creating a life that suits your body rather than following what the society says, and that is always a contradiction. That is something that you will not have many examples around you, because women themselves don't know what to do with this heightened level of emotion and sensitivity and awareness of spiritual world around them. So if you're in a patriarchal society, of course, you're going to move towards more masculine measures of protecting yourself, because your priority tends to become, I have to look after myself because the divine is not helping me. That's utter bullshit. You can totally, when some electrical malfunction takes place and you call the electrician, or you're just trying to fix something to turn the light on, that's what you're going to do. You got to figure out ways in which you can start reconnecting with the divine, so that that helps you restore the relationship with abundance and rest. See, rest and abundance go hand in hand. Abundance helps you rest, rest helps you create abundance. Why do I say that? Because when you're working too fucking goddamn hard, you're repelling abundance. You're pushing your body to the extent it can't really call that in. You're more in a chasing energy. And when I say that, if you still struggle with that, there's going to be an immediate contradiction, like, no, I got bills to pay, I have to do this, I got kids, I have this to do, or I don't have a partner, I wasn't supported in my childhood, I have this and that. And those are all fear-based programs sitting in your head and dictating your life, that further push away abundance, because you're not able to rest in this infinite capacity of knowing that everything can align for me. It's not about attaining enlightenment, it's just about it's like moving a little bit at a day's time towards rebuilding your relationship and trust with the universe. That's what really helps a woman restore her nervous system, because you're not constantly thinking about, well, how am I going to pay bills, or how am I going to buy this for myself, or how I'm going to pamper myself. Or most women tend to look at men as just a sort of like a gateway. They always have been taught that there's a ceiling limit to what they can really create for themselves. Think about it. The same universe that provides men with those resources, why won't the same universe provide that to you? There's no gender disparity with the universe. The universe created you with fondness, with love, with time, with beauty, with pleasure. It's all about what you really think you deserve, and you don't need to latch onto a man as an exit plan or something that needs to fulfill your wallet. Of course, you want to be taken care of. That's a different concept than thinking that I need to have a person to take care of me. And that's where the whole concept of reparenting yourself and getting away from inconsistencies, whether it's in your own behavior or other people, needs to be eliminated out of your life. You can't be sitting around people who keep triggering the same feelings inside of you, and you're sitting all the time in your life regulating your nervous system. You've created an unsafe environment around you, and you're questioning, why don't I have abundance? Because your body doesn't have the time to rest. Your body doesn't have the time to believe that good things can really come for me. So abundance and rest again goes hand in hand. The more you're well rested, the more you feel calm and in control of your emotions. It's the same thing that goes with having a good appetite. When you're looking at your fiber, your carbs, your proteins, um you're looking at everything you really need at the end of the day, not just going according to diets. Your body needs fuel to function. These are the ABCs that were taught in school that we probably don't pay so much attention to. But apart from that, one part of educating yourself as a woman is to thoroughly understand that the more you rest, there's a difference that I try to tell my friends as well. When they say that they just feel so tired all the time, they don't know, even if they're sleeping, they're not getting restful sleep. It's because your mind and your body is still alarmed by whatever is going on. You're not at peace with yourself. One of the best questions to ask yourself: do you feel safe with yourself? Are you constantly interacting with people that don't show up for you? Because of course you need people around. I would never ever say that isolate yourself and think of yourself as a superior being. No, you need interconnectedness. You need men around you as much as men need women. There's nothing about, again, gender disparity or being inferior or superior. There's a balance in life that nature has given us, so much as so we need the day as much as we need the night, right? And that's the masculine and the feminine, so we come together and we help each other. But codependency always comes from this thought process, like, I need this person, I need this person, I need them to be around me, you know so, or we thinking like, oh, I need a man to fulfill all my bills because I can't afford my lifestyle. That's not true. That's a thought pattern within you. Oh, I can't rest because my life is too chaotic. If you actually start moving towards that, you will make even more money that allows you to rest. It's all about what you really believe. And this game is more about grit than it is of proof or listening to other people's opinions or what they really deny, because everybody's going to project their limitations. And it's possible that so do I, or anybody else tells you that, oh, this is what's possible for you because of what I have integrated and disintegrated past within me, right? So the whole point of this is that sleep should be your priority. Resting should be your priority. Restful sleep. So it means that if you're someone that still sleeps with a very paranoid mind and you're waking up, with your alarm and in the morning, and you're waking up really, really scared, and you're just like, oh shit, and your body's alarmed again. Oh, another day of just pushing it through. That's exactly where abundance is not able to come to you, because there's still a mindset, there's still a body that's thinking and manifesting and whatnot, but it's really not aligning with what you really want for yourself, right? It's like the body is not getting the space to relax and let things come. Instead, it's still pushing towards it. So understand that there's a huge relationship in the way you treat yourself and the type of people that you have around you. Because as a woman, your nervous system dictates your life, how you feel. In very small words or layman language, I just say that how well do you feel inside of you really, really speaks volumes about how it is on the outside. You don't have to be perfect with this, but you have to start moving slowly by slowly to improve it and inculcate your relationship with the divine, to trust at every given point that your needs are going to be met, whether they're financial, whether they're emotional, whether they're mental, whether they're spiritual. All of them are going to be met if you just practice a little bit of stillness, if you just let the universe take over it. Just pour it into the universe, like, please just take this for me. And that is what takes grit, because as humans, again, patriarchy plays a very, very, very big role in this, that we feel that we need to keep hustling to have all of that. All of it is in the mind. We are thinking about patterns that have existed since generations and centuries, where people really just think about how they have to strive every day. Even if they have money, they still think about, oh no, this is not enough. And that is where you catch yourself. Even when you have it, or imagine you've been working on yourself and you've reached this version of you and you're still not appreciative of it, it really just translates as you still thinking it's not enough to be safe right here, just this moment. Like, do you trust yourself to take care of yourself in the future just as you have right now?